just a quick reminder that I will be sending out the Handmade for You holiday catalog next week. If you are a customer of mine who has purchased with me in the last, or since January of this year, you'll automatically get one from me in the mail. If you are a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, you should have one from Stampin' Up! Or one will be coming to you shortly from the company. And if you are not currently working with a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to earn your business. And the first thing I can do to do that would be to send you a complimentary catalog. So you just have to message me with your full name and mailing address, as well as your email address if you would like to be on my email list for class to go schedules, Stampin' Up! Promotions, things like that. Hello, Sylvia and Marlena and Patricia. Okay, would you like to see what we're going to make today? Today is a fun fold project. So I've made 2 samples already, and I've pulled out one of my old favorites. I was needing a get well card, and just kind of looking through my stash, and this caught my eye, and it's something I haven't used in quite some time, so I thought this would be great to use for that purpose, as well as to show you this fun fold. So here's the first one I made. And then I made a very similar one. So I'll show you, I'll open both of these so you can see the difference in each one. Susan, thanks for sharing. Hi, Julie. Thank you for sharing also. All right, so let me show you how to make this. It's really quite simple. I do think these cards need a bit of bling, so I have pulled out my rhinestones. So we'll add that to this one I'm going to make for you. And be sure and comment throughout. The more you comment, the more entries you will get into my drawing for a free card today, okay? So you basically need 4 things in addition to your envelope. You need a card base that measures 5.5 by 8.5 inches, and I'll show you how to score that in a moment. You need 2 pieces of Whisper White cardstock, or very vanilla, whatever, you know, crumb cake, whatever you want to use as your neutral. And yeah, I don't know why it's going blurry, Sylvia. I noticed mine was doing the same thing, so we'll just have to bear with it. I will tell you, the internet has been very slow today. It took me, you know, usually just a matter of seconds. See, we're not even moving and it's going blurry. I don't understand that. I wonder if I could go just a little bit closer. The internet has been rather slow also. It took me quite a while to be able to log into Facebook. So there may be something going on. I know we have storms in and out, but we'll do our best. So 2 pieces of neutral or Whisper White cardstock that measure 5.25 by 4 inches. And you'll also need a piece of Designer Series paper that measures 5.25 by 4 inches. So these 3 are all the same. So the first thing we want to do is score our card base. The first thing you want to do is score at 4.25 on that long side. Oops. Make sure I use the scoring tool. And then you're going to scoot it and score at 2 1/8. 2 1/8. And actually, when we do this, let's flip it over because that fold will be going the opposite direction. Okay, so let me grab a bone folder. I'm going to fold that in half on that score line. And then I'm going to fold that front back on the other score line. And just give each of those a very nice crease with your bone folder. And you have this so far. So for the next step, you're going to want to measure out where 2 inches is, 2 inches from the bottom. So this is your card front, okay? Card front. So have it closed like this and measure 1 7/8. That's the number to remember. 1 7/8. You'll need a pencil with an eraser on it. So I'm putting the bottom of my card, fold is at top here, bottom of my card at 1 7/8, and I'm just making this little hash mark there. Okay, can you see that? A little teeny hash mark right there. Now I need to cut a diagonal from the front, and I'm going to go from the center point to this little hashtag mark I made. And if you have the Stampin' Up paper trimmer like I do, it's real easy to see that that corner is centered on the cutting line as well as this little hash mark. So I'm just going to go, this is extra scrap, okay? If you see a little bit of that pencil mark, just erase it off, okay? So this is what you have now. Now we are going to need to cut first our designer series paper, okay? And we're going to use this on these 2 panels on the front, okay? Wendy, I'm happy you're here to watch live also. So this is the part I'm going to be working on, okay? These 2. So you have a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece. Here again, you want to measure 1 7. Let me think about this a second. Yes, 1 7/8 inch from the bottom. I have to do it. Let me do a double check of that. I think that's my number to remember. Yes, 1 7/8 inch from the bottom. So I'm going to do the same thing. Just make a teeny little tick mark right there. I should have it open so for you to see. Just right there. Okay, right in that cutting line, 2 7/8. So now I'm going to cut the same angle that I did for my card front, from the corner to this little dash mark I made. Whoops. There we go. And again, that is just scrap you can hang on to. Now here, I'm trying to do this so you can see it. Okay, so I want to measure in 1 7/8 inch from the left side and 1 7/8 inch from the right side. So here's 1 7/8 inch from the left side. I'm going to cut there. And you don't want to just scoot over and do 1 7/8. You want it to be from this side. So if you need to go the other end of your paper trimmer or flip it around, please do that. You want to make sure you're cutting off from the outside edges. And this is what you have. Now you can go ahead and adhere these to the card front panels. I'm using multi-purpose glue, but Stampin' Seal is a good choice also. And you just want to center these in each section. Okay. So this is what it's going to look like now from the front. Okay. Hi, Patty Schuler. Thanks for joining me. Okay. Now one of these panels is going to be going right here. All right. The other one we're going to cut in sections like this. You'll notice when we cut the DSP, we were cutting from upper left to lower right. This time we're going to be cutting that angle in the opposite direction. So you do want to pay attention to that, okay? So I'm going to measure 1 7/8 from that lower left corner. Right there. And then I'm going to cut on the diagonal from that hash mark to the opposite corner. That's scrap. Now once again, I want to measure in 1 7/8 inch from the left side and the right side. So I'm going to go over here. I've got sticky stuff all over me. So 1 7/8 right here. Okay, so that'll go there. And then I want to measure in 1 7/8 from this outside edge. Remember, that was our original left edge. I also want to erase that little mark I see there. So I'm just going to flip it over so I can measure my 1 7/8 right there and make sure I'm cutting from the middle. So basically we're taking away 1/4 inch strip from the middle of that panel. And that will go here just like that. So now I'm ready to stamp all my pieces. I'm going to start by stamping my sentiment. And I'm using Seaside Spray and the new Misty Moonlight. I'm going to use Misty Moonlight to stamp my sentiment. And that looks pretty good. And I'll close that up and put it aside. And now I'm using Seaside Spray. And there's several different Dandelion stamps in here. This is one. Here's a second one, this large one, and then this little that has those, what do you call them? The wish things? The wish things. So I'm just going to stamp some of those on that front panel. And then on that second panel, I'm going to stamp once and then stamp off just like that. And then on the largest panel, I'm going to stamp with the set of 3 dandelions, and then I'm going to bring back in some of these, what do I want to call these, wish makers? You know, the things you blow and make a wish. Did you do that when you were a kid? Okay, so this is what I have now. And now I'm ready to adhere all these pieces to the inside of my card, as well as those panels. Whoops. And that's your beautiful card. How simple is that? What do you think? I do think we need some bling on there. So I'm going to add some of these basic rhinestones. Got 3 different sizes, so I'm going to go with a large one here, and then a couple of medium-sized ones there. And I feel like I want to put a couple up here. So I'm going to do one large one. Let's see, over here, I think, and a medium-sized one. How about right there? So that's my sending well wishes card. What do you think? Oh, Susan, you just made my day. You're going to give it a try on Saturday. And you ordered the Dandelion embossing folder. I would love to see what you do with that. I don't own the Dandelion embossing folder, so I'm really curious to see what that looks like and what you do with it. I hope you'll share. Patty, I'm glad you like the card, and I'm glad to know that you'll make some. Wendy says she loves it. Susan loves it. Awesome, awesome. I want to make sure I didn't miss any questions back here. Okay, I don't know what the blurriness, I don't know why that's going on. Any questions? You know, I did realize as I was putting these 2 panels on, I think I told you to cut the card base, measure up 1 7/8. I think we should have measured up 2. Okay, I think that's what I did on my other 2. So I'll make sure to correct that with the dimensions when I post this video and the photos of the cards to the blog. I think we should add a little color to our envelope. So I'm going to stamp that set of dandelions. Is anybody else reminded of something else when they look at this stamp? I want to see if any of you are thinking the same thing I am. This is really pretty. I really love this. Another thing you can do with this is choose to stamp it on a color. So say, for example, we're going to stamp this on Seaside Spray. You might stamp with the Versamark ink and then use the Whisper White embossing powder to emboss it. Yes, Susan, exactly. I was thinking fireworks. And I was gone over the 4th of July this year and never even thought to pull this out before then. But I love that, you know, we can take this dandelion stamp and make something with it. We can make fireworks. We can make some pretty patriotic decorations and cards with that as well. Hey, thanks for joining me. I hope you'll give this fancy fold card or fun fold card a try, and I will see you soon. Have a great afternoon.